Good morning, all. Today's session in the subject Healthcare Economics, we are going to see a topic on business cycle. It is very important as in the business we have various cycle like various period, like sometimes the business will be in a good hike, sometimes it may droop down. So it is very essential to see what is business cycle. We'll see one by one. In this video, we are going to discuss on what is business cycle and what are the phases of business cycle. A business cycle refers to periods of expansion and contraction. A peak is a high point following a period of economic expansion. A trough is a low point following a period of economic decline. So sometimes a business we may have a boom, sometimes may go down to the bottom. So expansion will be there, contraction will be there, and sometimes even your business may go decline stage also. So that is called as business cycle. From the picture you can see, in the initial stage your business may expand and later it may goes to the peak. And after some time it may go for a recession also, and the recession continues, it leads to depression and trough. And after trough, when it reaches the bottom line, your business is zero. In that case, there is possibility of recovering your business. After recovering, again it goes to the expansion stage, peak stage, recession. So it goes ups and down. The business will be with ups and down. All the time will not be in the same position. And it is very difficult for the management to retain the position in the business. And during the expansion period, when the business is expanded, what all the things we can carry out is, will have n number of employment opportunities. So much of employment opportunities can be provided and wages can be increased. And it's a right time for investing money, spending money, and optimistic. The situation will be very positive. Even people will be investing more, and there will be high demand for goods, and business will be in a good shape. And since there is a good number of profit, and we can get the bank loan very easily, and the reinvestment is also possible. And we can make profit. In turn, the share market stock prices increases, and the brand image of the organization will also increase. During the peak period, it's almost we have achieved the ultimate destination, and we reach the top. Our GDP reaches the maximum level, a gross domestic product which is a maximum level, and there is no point more than this expansion, and we can produce lot and we can hire more people. And once we reach the peak period, again the cycle begin to contract. And during the contraction period, business cut back production. When there is shrinking of the business, there is less production and there is less number of employment requirement, and layoff will be taken place, and there will be lot of unemployment problem. Number of jobs get declined, and there will be negative energy, and people stop spending money. Banks stops lending money. So lot of problems arises during the period of contraction. And at the time of trough, when the economy reaches very lowest point, high unemployment problem, and people will not spend more, and there will not be any business, there will not be any free flow of income, and even share market drops. So when we hit the bottom, it's very difficult to recover. Only when it takes some time for the people to recover from this position. And that when you come down to the bottom line, then that prolonged contraction is called a recession. If you have a contraction period or recession for over 6 months, it's called as recession. And if the same recession goes for more than a year, is called depression. So depression is like when the recession is in the same position and it's very difficult for the business to recover when that is called as depression. So when is the right time for the business to invest is when the economy is expanding and sales and profit keep rising. So companies can invest in new plants and equipments, new jobs can be created, and there is a good scope for expansion. Whereas in the case of the contraction, the situation is not possible for the business expansion. So during the time of expansion itself, it's a right time for investing in the business, and the business can also get good number of investment and loans from the financial markets. And with respect to the interest rate and credit, and during the expansion period, you will get good number of loans with the less, and also you can make new investment, add on jobs, and the investment dries and less job growth in case of the contraction period. So consumer expectations. Actually, when there is recession, the purchasing power of the consumer reduces. They'll stop buying things. It's a circular flow of income. When consumers stop buying things or reduce the consumption process, it affects the business. And in turn, the expansion of business become the question mark. And what may be the reason for the trough is external shocks like disruptions like flood, war, natural disasters, and we can take the examples of the current scenario of a corona. All external shocks affects the economy, business economy. People stop buying. See, for example, when we stop buying the newspapers because of the corona, the newspaper distribution is getting affected. And even the manufacturing of newspaper is also getting affected, and layoff takes place, unemployment takes place. The whole industry came to the recession and they are in depression right now. So it's not the right time for the investment or expansion of the newspaper industry because of the external shock of corona. That's an example, we can take it up. So at the time of the contraction, we should think that we should not quit the job. Unless otherwise we get some other job, we should not quit the job because jobs will be very scarce. It's very difficult to switch over to the new job. But in the time of expansion, we'll get n number of job opportunities, and at that time we can switch over. If we get a good career opportunities, we can switch over. But with respect to the hospital sector, now it's the right time to switch over as there are n number of job opportunities that are available for the hospital administrators, especially due to the disaster management. Many have started expanding the hospital sector. So it's the right time. It's expansion period for the hospital industry. So even we can think over, should I make a big purchase? So only if you know that you won't lose your job in a contraction. So buy your house during an expansion. And see to that in the contraction, if you're investing on something, see to that you will not lose job, because sometimes in the contraction period there may be layoff, unemployment, all of a sudden we may lose the job. So it will be difficult for us to repay the loan. So we have to be very cautious in expanding our investment at the time of the contraction period. At the time of the expansion period, when we do that, well and good, no issues at all. So in a nutshell, what we have learned today is what is a business cycle. So business cycle is a one where you have expansion and contraction and sometimes recession, trough. So it will be interchangeable. The position will be interchangeable. And if we have a recession throughout more than a 6 months period, it's called as depression. So these are all the different phases involved in the business cycle and its impact, and I have also taught you about what are the things we have to do at the time of expansion period and what are the things we have to do at the time of contraction period and what are the steps we have to take and how the scenario will be at the time of the expansion and the contraction period. And I've also given example related to the hospital sector, and now we are in the expansion period because of the disaster management COVID. So it's the right time. We'll get good number of job opportunities and for switchover also. So thank you so much for listening the class. Keep watching. Thank you.